Yeah,
Look at his face.
yeah. Too up, too down.
Look at his
Ay,
face.
yeah. Yeah, I wanted the crown and to be celebrated. I rented a tux and I ordered a mink. Stood in the mirror like mama, I made it. Proceeded to brushing the teeth in the sink. Caught me a grill and I'm so melanated. I polished the chain, I ain't gold in the link. And I got me a baby who gave me some babies. I'm raising a lady and building a king. Too cold, you too busy running with another man lane, I guess. Yeah, too bold. I be running on the one way, never change my set like, I don't ever use my signals, yeah. I be in the lane myself, yeah. I don't gotta change my mental, yeah. And I ain't gotta chase my wealth, and I accept my daddy got a kingdom, and everything I ever got is his. If I ever got a problem, I'ma seek him. I never doubt him, been about his biz, oh man, been there. I ain't gotta ride on the wave when the ocean is his. Close with the kid with a
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, babies? It's your partners back in the saddle again, man, for another edition of Real Estate Friday Training. Cliff, what's going down, baby? How you doing, big time?
Man, doing good, doing good. Had a long week, but we going the right direction.
Yes, we are, man. And Cliff, man, we're growing pretty fast on Rumble, man. Rumble's been taking off for us, man, a little bit, man. They like what we
Okay.
talk about on Rumble, baby. We're trying to get on other platforms like True Social and Getter. We coming, y'all. Don't you worry. We
Yeah.
cover, y'all. And TikTok, we got our eye on you too, big dog. But man, Cliff, man, how was the week, man? And did we get the bag?
Man, I had a great week. Man, I had a lot of stuff kind of coming through, but the appraisal business starting to pick up, so that was straight, man. So, man, I can't complain.
Yes, sir, man. Me as well. The private equity side of my company is going fairly well, which is good. The real estate side, man, we're doing a lot of refinancing of our portfolio to lower rates, which is great. Doing some new construction project as well, and we're about to begin on the development in Atlanta that we actually had, Cliff. That's a little surprise for you, Doc. Is that's coming down the pipeline, and we got 3 international deals on the table right now as well. Also, that we're about 30 to 45 days, Lord says, sent from actually getting them things closed, man. So, and they're in the 10 figures. So, well, we trying to
Okay.
get it, man, for the king, man. Trying to get it, man. But yeah, man, the family doing well. Everybody doing well.
Yeah. Everybody's doing good, man. Blessed, man. Very blessed.
Good, good, man. Let's dive into this thing, man. Guys, man, Cliff, you know, I begin to every single week, man, as a licensed appraiser, you have boots on the
Yeah.
ground when it comes to what's going on in the market. And so, guys, you get this is special. Every week, guys, you get and it's perspective from a licensed appraiser that can give you what's going on in the market real time. So, Cliff, man, what you seeing in the market, man? What's going down?
Man, the market's slow.
Yep.
Interest rates are still high. They
Yep.
tick down a little bit, but people still not jumping in the market. So for the
Yep.
most part, it's slow. Um, this is good and bad for people because the market's going up. The market's
Yep.
going to go be up in 6 8 months. It's going to be up a year from now.
Sure is.
So
Sure is.
right now it's getting slow. So the market's just staying sideways. So but I think now's the best time to jump in before it starts getting hot.
I agree, guys, with Cliff, man. It is slow. I think it's going to get slower.
Yeah.
Because of
Hmm.
the fact that, of course, the Fed, their pause rates, of course, being cut, raised. They're kind of trying to see what's actually what's going to break first. And there's something going on behind the scenes, which we're going to talk about in a second, with the Fed and the banks, guys. When it comes to treasury bills and bonds, guys. And so get your pens and pads out, guys, because this is going to answer a lot of the questions on what's going on behind the scenes, what's causing Cliff and I to conclude from a data standpoint that it's slow and it will remain slow. Cliff, when do you think that the Fed is going to begin to even entertain cutting rates potentially?
Man, I've been calling it about April. I
April?
think they're
Why
gonna cut.
April? Why April?
I think that's gonna be a low point because if you look over year, that's when it was real bad last year.
Yep.
So comparing that to this year, and we're going to do worse in a lot of categories. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're going to be forced to cut.
I agree. But I think something's going to break. Something's going to break, and it's going to be something big. And
Mm,
I say that because what we're going to
okay.
talk about here in a second. And if you let me know if you agree after we see what we're going to talk about in a second. But I agree they may cut it because they're going to have to force to get money moving into the market via
Right.
cutting rates. So right now, as you said before, adequately, you said that when the Fed raises rates, they're trying to slow everything. They're trying to slow down everything. They're trying to raise the unemployment rate. When they cut rates, they're trying to get money to continue to flow. I think that they made a big error by doing that because that forced for Congress to begin printing more. Now, Congress would never stop printing, but that just gave more incentive for them to continue to print. You agree? Of
Oh yeah, they have to print. They ain't got no other way.
course.
They
No
have
other
to
way.
print. So, but I don't think that's necessarily going to cause the inflation that that we've seen. So I
Mm.
think what's going to end up doing is uh, rates are going to get cut.
Yep.
We're going to see everything come down. We're going to see the market start to come back a little bit, and then
Yep.
we're going to actually hit some like a somewhat of a stable path
Okay.
after that. After we
Okay.
stabilize the interest rates, I think we good.
Well, I don't know about stability. I know that they're going to try to project stability, but here in a second, you're going to see why I'm coming to that conclusion. This is what
All
I'm going
right.
to do
Yeah.
at a time. But guys, man, those that are actually in the audience, you may want to get your pens and pads out right now and share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Because there's a topic we're going to talk about that most Americans, that may not be you, don't know about the Fed. Cliff, have you heard of something called the Fed discount window for banks?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Do you think most of Americans have heard of a discount window?
Nah,
Bank?
nah,
Hmm.
no.
Now we're going to bring in an investment banker. But let me say it again for the folk in the back row. She's an investment banker by trade. This ain't nobody that's writing articles as a journalist. She's an investment banker, and they're gonna talk about what a discount window is and what the Fed did without you knowing what they were doing. Here we go,
Mm.
Cliff. And then me and Cliff are going to respond to this. All right, here we go. Let's get it in, Cliff.
So, Carol, let me explain the discount window and see if I have it right. Discount window at the Fed. Think of a bunch of windows at a bank where you walk up to the windows. The discount window was where banks, if they walked into the Fed, which is the bank of banks,
Yeah.
okay, so all those windows, there's bankers at the windows, no people like you. And the discount window was the kind of shameful window at the end that everybody could see. And you could walk up to the discount window if your bank was in trouble and say, I need to borrow some more money. I need it here because we're getting a little dicey on our books. And all the bankers could look over to see who is in line at that discount window. And then they'd say, Bank of George is in trouble. Did you see that? George was just up there. The Bank of George is in real trouble. And so it was shameful, and nobody wanted to go up to that discount window. After 2000.
Now, Cliff, do you agree
Mm.
with that sentiment?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can understand what they're saying. Yeah.
Okay, now let's keep going. So what he
Hmm.
did, what he just described was, let me bring us a little closer real fast, guys. What he just described real quickly was the discount bank window is what the Fed actually has for the bank. So the Fed is the bank for the banks. They have a discount window. When you go to discount window, it was a walk of shame, kind of like the cone of shame, and it signal to the other banks this said bank is not doing too well. Now, watch the pivot, Cliff, to what they've done. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
2008, they took all that shame away, and now you can walk up and go, yeah, man, right? Are we all in trouble? You bet. Can you give me some more money? Do I have that right?
A pretty similar, and it's an unfortunate name because the discount window does sound like a place at Nordstrom where you maybe get a discount on some good goods, right? But you said it is sort of has a stigma attached to it because
Correct.
within the banking system, within the plumbing, as you noted, banks lend to each other on a regular basis. And if you're in good shape, you may go, if you have a liquidity need overnight or for a short term, you may go to another bank and you may get a loan. And that's actually what the Fed funds rate sets that target
Correct.
rate of lending at that we hear. We hear, oh, we're going to go up 50 basis points, we're going to go down. That's that interbank lending rate. The discount window, as you mentioned, is at the Fed. Funny enough, it's not even at a discount. It's actually at a premium to the
Right.
Fed funds rate because banks who can't get the money elsewhere have to go to the Fed. We've heard the name or the phrase, the Fed is the lender of last resort. And that's if you're in line at that discount window, it's because you've got nowhere else to go in
Correct.
order to get that money for your liquidity. So
So Cliff, let's double down for the people, for the people, double down for the people now. Now, Cliff, did you see the pivot after 2008?
Yeah, it's more acceptable.
And so now, so basically, if a bank went to a discount window in the past, it was the walk of shame, and it signaled to their banking colleagues that this bank is in trouble because the Fed is the lender of last resort. Now, what happens is now after 2008, the Fed took the shame away from that, and now it's like a party going up there. It doesn't matter if you are not doing well or you're doing well. Fed time, we're going to give you the money.
Yeah, man, because the reason why is because they won't let you fail. Like that stigma is gone. It's like if you a banker, you look to your left going, Bank of America bailed out. You look to your right, you say Wells Fargo bailed out.
Yeah.
First, what was that? First Financial in California, Silicon
Yeah.
Valley Bank
Yep.
bailed out.
Yep.
So you're not gonna bail me out? Of course you are.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's go a little deeper, okay? Go a little deeper. We're going a little slow so y'all can know what's going on. Here we go. Let's go back in.
While that information isn't reported, usually on a case-by-case basis for about 2 years, you don't know specifically, there's enough detail that participants in the market can infer who's going to those windows. And then also it's a very important market signal because in the aggregate, if we're seeing a lot of loans being taken down via the discount window, which is reported on a regular basis, we can infer that there's trouble in the banking system.
Correct.
So like we did last March when there was the banking crisis, you saw this huge spike in discount window usage. So I think that kind of pieces this all together.
Okay, so now,
So Cliff, now by the Fed doing what they're doing, what that did is that made it easier for the banks to go out and say, give me some money. It didn't matter if I'm failing or not, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, this all started in 2008, like he was saying, because basically the banking structure failed.
Yeah.
The bank system failed. So everybody had to go to the Fed to get $1 trillion to support the banking system, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So we basically nationalized the banks because they cannot work on their own, right? So now we're having a problem again. They're going back to the Fed, but basically the banks are federalized. Like they're not independent.
Wow, they're not. Cliff, you spot on. Cliff, you said the key word. The banks are nationalized. Y'all, let's keep going, y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute. Here we go.
what has the Fed done?
So there is a new rule that is being worked on. This had been rumored to be happening for a long time, and now it's finally come out. And it's between the Fed, the Treasury, and I believe it's the FDIC,
Oh.
and they are planning to say, well, because there's so much, well, actually, they're not saying because, I'm getting ahead of myself. So they're basically saying they're going to introduce a new rule that if you are a bank over a certain size, I think the $100 billion is the assumed cutoff point,
Okay.
that we're going to force you to use the Fed discount window every year on whether you need a loan, whether you don't need a loan, whether you could borrow from another bank, doesn't
Wow.
matter. We're going to make sure that you do it. And the
Why?
reason they think we're so stupid,
Listen.
they say, well, the reason we had this crisis in March wasn't because we had all of these underwater, securities on banks' balance sheets. No, that wasn't the issue. It was because they couldn't figure out how to use the discount window. So this will be like a dress
Oh my
rehearsal or a fire drill. So if you do it on a regular basis, now you know, and we can avoid the other crisis, which is
Yeah.
absolutely insane. And if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you.
That is like cops saying,
Wow.
yeah, well, we've got to fire our guns, at people once in a while, because otherwise, if something happens, we won't know how to fire guns at people. I mean, that's crazy. Of course they know how to use it. That's their job, to learn how to use it. It seems to me they're forcing these banks to do it so we don't know who's in trouble anymore.
Bingo. So there is this great
Wow.
newsletter called FX Head.
So Cliff, man, wow.
Yeah.
What is your response?
Bro, that's big time. If you paying attention, what she's saying is what happened to Silicon National Bank. They are trying to remove that option because you don't know they're in trouble, so you can't pull your money out. Move your money.
Hold on, Cliff. Hey, say it again, but slower.
The Federal Reserve doesn't want you to know your bank is failing.
Wow.
Bro, that's bad. That's bad. Oh man.
Cliff, I be trying to tell y'all that why would the Fed do this, Cliff?
Man, they're stuck on the treasuries that they issued. They stuck.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on,
Okay,
wait a minute, Cliff.
Yeah,
Hold on, Cliff.
break that down. We gotta break that down.
So you said they're stuck on the treasuries, right?
Yeah,
I agree. Why would they be stuck on the treasuries, Cliff?
because they're they're worthless right now. They can't sell them. The banks bought billions and trillions of dollars in treasuries, and they down 75%. So the banks don't have any. They can't sell them. So they're broke. All the money is gone.
Oh no, but Cliff, let's go a little deeper. Why? What made the treasury bills and the bonds so basically unvaluable or in trouble?
Raising the interest rates.
What you say, Chuck?
When they screwed them. They sold you a bunch of bonds there. I said, hey, Dale, I got a bunch of bonds. Hey, I'm gonna sell them to you. And as soon as you buy them all, I'm gonna raise the interest rate and go, yeah, they're worthless now.
So basically, they did the same thing.
Yeah.
This is Silicon Valley on steroids.
Yeah.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
I told y'all last year, the treasury, the T-bills, which is the treasuries, and the bonds were in trouble. I told y'all that. It didn't make any sense. So now, as Cliff has said in the past, it's a mirrors and smoke game, or smoke and mirrors game. To where now what they're doing is they're saying, we're going to force you banks to have to come and use the discount window, which was normally used for banks that were in trouble, but they're not in trouble anymore, but they're in trouble so that we can hide the fact that said bank is in trouble so that you, consumer, would not withdraw your money. Did I get it right, Cliff?
Yep, man. Perfect. That's exactly right, man. That's wild. That's wild. So the banking system is nationalized.
Yes.
Dale, what you doing with your money?
It is not in the bank, my nigga.
You said
I'm
go
sorry.
buy gold, go buy silver,
Man,
get you
go
some real
by.
estate.
Thank you, Doc. Man, I'm
You know
trying
what
to
I'm
told y'all, man. Now, Clip, let's go a little deeper. Oh, if y'all don't want to say, if
so
I'm trying, go ahead, Clip. Go ahead.
not what but the problem is that all them bonds and treasuries that they have that are worthless, they got to get them off their books. The only way they can do that is if the
Uh
interest
huh.
rates drop low enough that the value comes up.
But Cliff,
They
hold
have
on one
to.
second.
They have
That's
to.
even that's even a problem though, because guess what the Federal Reserve is doing right now? At the same time,
What's that?
they are expanding their balance sheet. With what, Cliff? Those same worthless T bills and bonds. So here's what they're doing. They are originating T bills, treasury bills, and bonds, right? Then what they're doing is they're going to the treasury and saying, Treasury, give me a check for it. They say, cool. Now money has been created. Now debt has been created. So money's been created now. Then what they're doing is instead of going to the banks and saying, banks, go ahead and buy this from us, they're actually buying it back from themselves. So wait a minute, Cliff. The Federal Reserve is originating bonds, going to the Federal Reserve, getting a check for it, and then buying back the same bonds that they originated. Therefore expanding the balance sheet. That makes sense. No, it don't.
Yeah. So so there's only one answer then. They have to lower interest rates low enough to where the people want to buy them again, and the
Yes.
market opens up, and they can sell those old ones on the market. Those
Who
old
who
treasuries,
who
they
who,
have to.
who, who they gonna sell to? Who wants them?
Same buyers, same
Same
buyers.
buy. Who are those
Other
buyers?
other countries, private companies,
Countries don't. They don't want them. They don't want them. Who are their buyers, Cliff?
ma- somebody's buying them. They sell them today.
I know they are. Who are their buyers? It was said in the video. Who are the buyers?
Well, oh, you talking about the Fed?
No, not the Fed. The Fed is forcing who to go to the
Oh,
discount window.
the banks. Yeah,
There you
yeah, yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah.
That is the reason why they are forcing the banks to go to the discount window because they have no other buyers. So they
Oh
they
yeah,
nationalized the banks, as you said, right? Then what they did was they said we're going to force you to buy our bills.
yeah. I see what you're saying, but they still have those old treasuries on their books. They can't sell. They're worthless
Yep.
because they're so low. No, because the reason why, if I'm going to go buy a treasury, right? So look, all right, this is what happens. If you got a lot of money, you can go just buy guaranteed income. You can buy it, right? So back in the day when it was low interest rates, they bought it and it was only 1%,
Yes.
right? Those
Yes.
banks still have those. They can't
Yes.
sell those because if I got $1 billion, why would I buy your 1% if right now on the market there's 4 and 5%?
So they're stuck with toxic, devaluated assets. Yep.
Yep.
And can't get rid of them at all.
And they
Nope.
have, but they have to cut to bring those values back. They have
Yes,
to.
they do.
And
And
that works
mhm.
out with taxes too, because who's paying interest on all of those payments? The taxpayers. And if it's
Thank you.
high right now, they have to cut. They have to cut.
And that is a powder keg for a bomb to go off. Yeah,
Mm,
excuse my language. We're in a shit show now
mm. Yeah, yeah,
because of the fact that does that make sense, Cliff?
yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
We're in a shit show now because now what's happening is you begin to see behind the curtain now to where they know we're in a shit show and they're trying to fool you. We are. If they cut the rates, Cliff, oh my God, hyperinflation is coming.
See, that's where I disagree.
How? How can that not be the natural consequence if the Fed cannot get rid of toxic assets that they have in the book? And we talk about in the trillions.
They it's the same thing after 2008. They pumped in what, $1 trillion into the banks.
Sure.
We didn't get inflation.
But the banks paid that money back. I'm
Right.
not talking about those, but I'm talking about the bonds that are on their books they can't sell.
But once interest rates come down, they can sell them again.
But they're going to have a loss still, because if I'm a bank, I'm gonna say, why would I want to buy those bonds for? They're toxic. Doesn't make any sense for me. I can't monetize those bonds. As a bank, I need liquid to be able to lend out money.
Right.
I don't make money unless I lend the money out as a bank. Am I right?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but they got the bonds in their books, right?
Yep.
They're still paying. They're just paying so low, nobody wants to buy them. That's the problem. If the loans on the market drop to that same price, now you could sell them on the open market.
So how? Okay, I'm rocking
Yeah.
with you. So
Yeah.
how it? Who's paying for those bonds? Taxpayers or the Fed?
I mean, it's a combination.
Who does the Fed get their money from? Themselves or taxpayers?
From themselves.
How?
The Fed,
Uh-huh.
the Fed just prints money.
Exactly. Well, how they're printing the money? How they're making the debt? They have to do
They're creating,
deficit spending.
They're creating debt.
Exactly, based on future borrowing power.
Right.
What
Yeah.
they're doing. So who's paying for that debt? It has to be
Oh,
somebody.
right. The interest payments of the taxpayer. I see what you're saying.
Exactly. So the taxpayers are paying all of this money. Here's what I mean by hyperinflation. I do not think that by cutting the rates, it's going to be a boom. The reason why is because of the fact that everything is so high. People cannot afford to live right now. CNN, we just saw last week, CNN actually had a a report on people saying, yeah, I'm seeing that based on the numbers which have been manipulated, that we have a good economy. I don't feel it that way though, at all. I mean, it's is I can barely live. Dude had 4 jobs.
Yeah. This is worse than 2008 because we got hit twice. First, we had inflation, so all the
Yeah.
prices went up. Then
Yes.
the interest rate went up, so now
Yep.
everything's more expensive on top of the inflation. You got hit twice. So it's it's a tough situation.
It's tough, man. This is why I say that. That's why I say that hyperinflation. That's why I say it's a powder keg. It's because the natural response to for a boom is people going out and spending money. Another factor that I mean, excuse me, that I think that's going to be not a boom is because of the fact that the government is effectively not wanting to monetize our most valuable asset, liquid gold. So therefore, we can't use our assets, monetize those by trading with individuals or selling it to people that actually need petroleum and natural gas or oil, right? To generate another income to offset that. By doing that the right way, you can begin to pay down or absorb that loss of those toxic assets on your balance sheet. The government is saying we don't want to do that. Now, I mean, just today, I believe the federal government basically, I think they revoked or they did something to Texas that wounded Texas from being able to trade their petroleum. Literally today. So I'm just like, so there's an active push to not utilize our most valuable assets to tackle this financial problem. That's why I'm saying it's going to be a powder keg.
Yeah, maybe. I can see what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I think what you're probably gonna see is once they cut, you're gonna see the market go up, the stock market go up more. Then you have in the actual, in the real world, you're gonna have a 6 to 8 month delay on that before it starts hitting the average person. Because you got to
Sure.
think every time they cut rates, what's happening is basically in 2023, let's say we did $10 trillion in the economy.
Yeah.
When they cut rates, they're allowing more money into the system. So the next
Yeah.
year you could have 11 trillion. So
Sure.
11, an extra trillion of dollars hit the whole market.
Yeah.
That's going to be the floor which they're going to build and keep going more and more on. So that's what I'm saying is there's going to be more money in the system, and that's going to
Uh-huh.
keep that's what that's going to do is create more of a boom.
Where's that money coming from? Is it coming from consumers or more printing?
Oh, it's printing. Yeah.
Unfortunately, if it's printing, there will be no boom because you're adding to an already inflated economy with fake dollars. It's fake success.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But our whole that's what our system is based on. It was it Keynesian. Keynesian was the
Yeah,
idea that if the
yeah,
market drops, you print money to
yeah,
sustain it. You
yeah,
hit a floor, and then you
yeah.
build from that floor.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But in the Keynesian model, also, there is a consumer role in there as well to balance everything out. What I'm saying is the consumer role is not going to be there. That's going to be
Mm.
the issue.
Nah, see, I think we a little different on this one. We
Okay.
different on this one.
It's all good. We're gonna see. Now,
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
can
yeah.
say,
Okay.
is, I was right about the boss of the TV. I was right. I was right. I was.
Man, I
Hey.
told you they paused. I was letting you know.
You did. You
Anybody who
did.
listened to me on that Zillow stock, that one
Mm.
hit would have hit 16% that next
Sure.
week.
It did. Again, guys, if you know
Yeah.
how to play the market and benefit from the
Hmm.
fake success, you can make a lot of money. I put it like this: the top, the sophisticated investors are going to thrive.
Yeah.
The middle
Yep.
class and the poor are going to suffer
Mm,
badly.
yeah, I see what you're saying. For the average person who don't own any assets,
Yes,
you can't. That world is gone.
gone.
It don't exist.
Mhm.
You cannot just work and earn a paycheck and survive in this market. It's not
Correct.
built for you.
It's not. It's not. And again, guys, this is why we do Real Estate Friday training on Fridays, guys. It's so you can understand, you can understand what's going on with the market. We talk about a topic that can affect you in a positive, negative aspect, and then we give you a counter move to what you can actually implement today to get started, and we give you access to our cash flow, things of that nature. We do all of that for you. This is for that reason alone, guys. So hey, now Cliff, based on this real quickly, what deals are coming? Now we went through a whole about 20 minutes of good, healthy discussion. What type of deals do you see from an appraiser and investor standpoint with what we just saw is going to be coming back on the market?
Man, so I think you're probably gonna have lower end deals start coming on the market
Mhm,
because I think the money goes a little bit further there.
mhm.
I think if I say anything under 400,000, you know, I think that area is going to be a strong market.
All the time, yeah, I agree with that. That price went down there. It won't suffer that much at all. I think it would actually explode.
Yeah, you were the demand. So when they talk about demand for housing and everything, that price point as an investor, that's where all the
Yes,
demand is.
yes. That
Hmm.
that that right there, it would explode. But most of the buyers are not in that price range. They're in the over 400,000 above.
Mm, yep.
That's what I'm saying. The backbone of America is 400,000 and above. I say 400,000 to about 800,000. That's what majority of America is actually in.
Mm.
That's what I kind of see because really the 300,000 to 400,000. Like let's just look at this. Let's just use Dallas for example. Where are you going to find properties at $300,000? What area?
You got to go south.
South Dallas. Now South Dallas is known as a safer area or more
Nah,
volatile
nah,
area.
nah, nah.
There we go. So
Yeah,
so therefore, so now most of the constituents in South Dallas or not.
yeah.
So are most of the citizens living in South Dallas or they're not
Oh
in South Dallas?
no, no, they're not in south. Nah, most people are
So
not.
just using Dallas as an example, most people have migrated north, right?
Yep,
The price point of the properties going north. What's normally the price point?
they're going up.
Is it
Yeah.
over 300,000, 400,000?
Oh yeah, all day.
That between 400,000 and let's say 700,000, I even say 900,000. Those properties are going to either be foreclosed on, subject to investments, or you can buy them wholesale
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah, I think you're right. As before we start turning around, like I said,
Yeah,
I don't think Main Street's gonna feel anything until maybe next year,
no.
2025.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I see what you're saying. Where the economy is going to squeeze people, and then that's where the subject to deals start coming out.
Oh, and I'm getting a lot of them now. Now a lot of them don't make no sense at all. Some people send me substitute deals. Property's worth 200,000. The mortgage is 150. Pay me $50,000 for the substitute assignment. I'm like, get the hell out of
Yeah.
here.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on. Now, what's the real estate counter move, guys? Whenever you are in a volatile type of an economy, guys, I always say go back to the basis. And it just so happens we have a licensed appraiser on this real estate training live, and he's gonna give a different perspective than what realtors are going to show you when it comes to this topic. How to pull correct comps or comparables in this market. No other word comps means comparables. And Cliff, do a lot of realtors when they pull comps, do they pull comps correctly or incorrectly?
Nah, they don't. They don't pull them right most times.
Now, why is that?
They they already have in mind what they're looking for, and
Okay.
so what happens is they get pie in the sky thinking. They're thinking,
Mm.
oh, this house is just like yours, but usually it's better. And then they had to do extra things to find that comp. They had to cross
Mm.
a river. They had to go on the other side of
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, there's a comp. It's like, yeah, but you passed over 6 others that they may
Mm-hmm.
not be perfect, but they're closer to the property, which most of the value is in the location. So I'd rather
Yeah.
pick a property on the same street that may not be
Yeah.
perfect than
Yeah.
go 2 miles away and find
Mm-hmm.
an exact one. So everyone's different.
I agree with that. What are the top 3 mistakes that realtors do when it comes to pulling comparables?
So most of the time when they pull it, they're doing off price per square foot.
Okay.
They're doing, like I said, they got the wrong vision for the one
Okay.
for the property,
Okay.
and they tend to take the high end of a range.
Hmm.
So if they see,
Mm.
500,000, 600,000, they always say 600,000.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
everything is always the high end, and
Wow.
that's not how it looks.
He is correct, guys. So, if an example, if a realtor says, "Hey, the comparables on this property is 600,000," what is a good percentage as a consumer they should say? Really, it's about this price point.
So if they saying it's worth 600,000,
Yeah.
you're saying where would it actually come in at?
Yeah.
Most likely.
In this market.
I mean, I see realtors to be 10 to 15% off. Yeah. Yeah, easily on the upside. Because as an appraiser, we're not just they're looking and saying likeness for likeness. We're looking
Mm.
at more than that. Like, for example, how much more value does the floors give them? Does the paint
Yeah.
give them?
Yeah.
Does the location give them? You're
Mm.
just saying price per square foot. If it was that simple, they would just use the tax rolls.
Ooh. Actually, I had a friend of mine call me today and say, "Hey, Dale, I got a property that is on sale for 650. They're the motivated buyer. They'll take it for they'll say take it for 615, 625. It's okay. And the tax roll, which is the county appraisal district, says it's worth 850. I said, I responded. He said, good deal. I said, trash. Because you're going by the county appraisal district, the tax roll. That's always wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's like, what? Always wrong. I said, let me ask you a question. When you bought your house, I said, did you go by the county appraisal district, the tax roll? No. What'd you do? Order appraisal. Why?
Right. And I'll put you on a little bit. So the tax rolls, the way they value that, it's called ad valorem. That is the
Mm,
process they use in order to value houses by taxes. It's a specific way that they do it. It's basically an automated value measurement, right?
mm,
The
mm.
keyword being automated. So they just taking a blanket number and applying it to every house. And that's why every year you have people come back and say, that number ain't right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you're right, because they just taking a blanket number and applying it to everybody and just
Yeah.
adjusting based on square footage. So, I mean, really, the appraiser is going to give you the best one because they look at more detail, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go off taxes. That's bad.
Never do. Never do. Now, Cliff, for the audience, man, what is the best way as an investor to pull comparables? Give it kind of like little bullet point metrics of it.
I mean, I would say stick to what seems obvious.
Okay.
And when I say obvious, I mean you can show it to anybody obvious. I mean same street. I mean same neighborhood. I mean cookie cutter. The more cookie cutter, the easier it is to value. The more outside of a cookie, and I mean cookie cutter, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. That's a bread and butter basic home. If
Okay.
you find the same subdivision, same square footage,
Yeah.
that's going to be your obvious one. The more unique the property, the more range you have in the value. If it's off the side of a street next to a river and there's no other houses like that in the area, the value could be anywhere from 300 to 400,000. It's harder to value. That's where you get experts that come in. So I would say stick to cookie cutter.
Gotcha. And so, for instance, when they're putting comparables, normally there's a mile radius. What's a good mile radius for them to actually kind of begin to implement?
I mean, everybody uses the 1 mile.
1 mile?
Typically
Okay.
they're looking at 1 mile. I mean, that's usually you can go outside of that and it's not
Sure.
terrible, but if
Sure.
it's in 1 mile, it's better.
Okay. Now, when it comes to square footage, there's normally a square footage beneath it and above subject property. What's the number? Is it 200 square foot beneath and above 250? What's a good parameter?
Above what?
So if the property is worth is square footage that says is 1,500 square feet,
Mhm.
right? And you're trying to compare properties. Typically, you look at properties, any property that's 200 square feet below and 200 square feet above. What square footage do you kind of look at to say, okay, this is a good parameter to stay in between?
It all depends. I mean, because the location's going to come first, right? So if you have a property that you just say 200, well, if a property is
Mhm.
250, but it's
Yeah,
next door,
yeah.
I'm not going to pass that up because it's 50 square feet difference. So it's not. You need to discern that more, right?
Ah,
There's not necessarily a bread and butter because I just told you, I could say 300. You want 300
mhm,
square feet difference, but again,
yeah,
the next door neighbor's 350.
yeah.
Well, that
So
don't make sense. So
that's why you say use common sense. Use
you
common sense. Yeah,
you got to use common sense. Yeah,
gotcha.
but
That makes some sense.
but
Go ahead.
location is going. Think of it playing poker. You can have different hands, right? You can have two of a pair, three of a pair, but a royal flush beats them all. A royal flush in this instance, next door neighbor, same type of house.
Mm,
So what's the
mm,
next best hand you want to play? That would be location. Maybe it's not the same type of house, but it's next door or up the street. So that hand plays first. So then the second hand is like the quality and condition, right? That's like
yeah,
how good the house is. Is it fixed up? It's not fixed up. That comes
yeah.
second. But
Makes
location's
sense.
always gonna trump that.
Hmm. Again, common sense, guys. Common sense. So
Is
therefore, when someone says from a renovation standpoint, hey, the property's worth $100,000, I think after purchase it's gonna be like 200 grand. I'm gonna put about 15,000 into it. And the how would you interpret that when it comes to one that wants to do that?
so I mean most people are gonna interpret it as I would say that if you told me, I would say 15 grand is there's only two situations.
Yeah,
One, you bought crazy cheap. You just got it
sure.
real lucky. You just bought it
Got a
cheap.
good deal. Got a good deal.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other one is you are way off on the after repair value
Mm,
because 15,000 is not going to be enough because I'm looking at saying 15 grand. What can you really do to the property to improve it?
there we go.
And are the other houses that are 200,000? Are they people try to skirt it? Well, it's not as good as flooring. It's not as good as paint. It's like no, you need to
Yeah.
spend 30 or 40 if you want that
Yes.
200,000 evaluation.
There you go.
Because
There you go.
they don't see that the house they're comparing to. They go, well, I'll paint. Well, the next house isn't just paint. They have brand new exterior. They
Yes.
brand new
Correct.
shingles. They have brand new siding. Yours just
Correct.
painted. That's not equal.
Correct. That makes sense, man. That's something, brother. That is something, man, to where
It's
that's
it's
something.
It's very logical if you think about it, but most people do not. They get so caught up in wanting the house that they'll bypass things. That's why they bring in an appraiser who's a third party who has no interest
Yeah.
because you
Now,
get biased when you look at it.
exactly. Now you do have some bad appraisers, which we have encountered. Now, Cliff, let me ask you this question real fast. To where, if there's one property, let's say it's one property, right, and there's three appraisers appraising that same property, will they come up with the same value or three different values?
No, three different ones probably.
How?
Now, see, and actually they could be the same. It goes back to what I said originally.
Mhm.
So I've seen houses before where I was they asked for three appraisals and they all came in between 175 and 180. All of them, three different appraisals. So that's basically the same, right?
Sure.
Because the house was cookie cutter.
Hmm.
The more cookie cutter, the more the appraisal. But again, the
Makes
reason
sense.
why you're thinking, well, why could one be worth one say 400,000, the other one says 300,000? That's a big gap.
Mhm.
Again, it's probably because the house is unique. It's across the street next to a railroad across from a river. Well, you're gonna get more opinions in there. But if it's cookie cutter in the middle of a subdivision and there's three
Yeah.
sales on the same street,
Yeah. Guys, Cliff is giving you guys some jewels
man, that's big.
on
Most people don't understand none of that.
at all. We've been on trainings to where the investor came to us and they want to buy said house for said price point, put about 20, 25 into it, talking about it's going to increase the value at $75,000, $80,000. We're like, bro, for real? Like, how does that make sense? Like,
Ma-
like, and then we ask them, what are you doing? Oh, paint carpet. You don't know what you're doing.
No. So this is what I've learned. I'll put you all on a little bit. This is my technique when I do houses. I'd rather spend 5,000 more making
Yep.
sure we hit the level and quality that I want, that I guarantee the appraised price or the sales price. It's worth
Yes.
$5,000.
Yes.
That $5,000
Yes.
does the siding. That $5,000 makes sure the kitchen is just perfect and the bathrooms are nice. I don't skimp. I spend that extra $5,000, but when you walk in the house, you go, man, this was done right. This is nice.
Yes.
All the pieces are done right. And so when the
Yeah.
appraiser walks in or the buyer walks in, they see that same quality.
Details, guys. Details is the key. Don't go cheap on your renovation if you don't have to. Don't go cheap. If you can invest an extra $2 or $3 grand to get that high retail value, do it. We're doing it on the property in Jackson right now. We had a scope of work of 30,000. We were like, wait a minute, we don't see a bid in there for the HVAC and hot water heater. We said, Cliffman, what do you think? We were like, about 5,000. Okay, so we went to our GC, and we give you extra 5,000. Can you make it work? He said, no problem, I got you. He making it work. So we went from $30,000 to $35,000, and it's a miscellaneous fee because of the fact that we want to make sure that we got everything covered. That's it. We don't want no surprises.
Right. Yeah. Now I do have miscellaneous, built in it, but I usually have, like I said, if I come to a number, I usually try to put 5K on top of it. But I'm even
Yeah.
on top of that, I'm willing to put another 5
Yeah.
because I've done enough of these where you actually get into the project and you're like, I think we need to demo them cabinets.
Yeah.
I thought we could paint them, but now that we painted them, let's just spend 3,500 and get brand new ones.
Correct. And those are tough decisions to make, guys, but you got to make
Yeah.
them. Got to make them. If you want to be an expert in this space and really begin to make money in it, guys, make money in it, you got to do that.
Don't get too cheap. I've made that mistake too, where it's better to spend a little bit more and make it look nice. Because
Yes.
this is what I always found when I flipped. This is one of the biggest lessons I learned.
Uh-huh.
If you do a rehab well, it doesn't have to be amazing, but if you do it well and you actually take care of the kitchen, the bathrooms, the floor, and it's nice, it's way more likely to sell. If you skimp and you try to save money and people go, quality, this, and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
lose money on.
Now you can get high quality with being a little cheap. You can do that. For instance,
Yeah,
hotels. When you walk into hotels, man, like one of my favorite hotels to go to, I love the Hilton product. I love the Hilton
yeah,
product.
yeah.
They actually have I think the Omni in Frisco. Me and my wife go out there sometimes just for a day date, and we'll spend the night, which is fine and have a good little time. Beautiful, nice. All that is cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everything is cheap. Cheap.
Man, we could do a whole. Man, we could do several. This is what training is for. Is I can go into detail about how you do your construction to
Mm,
look nice but be cheap. And so you could that's the investor way. We know how to make it
yes.
look that quality for like
Yes.
something simple as the type of paint for the bathrooms. Some people don't understand the type of paint they need to use to make it look better.
Correct. Correct. That's why, guys, man, this here, man,
That's a steal. That's a steal.
that's a steal, guys. What we talking about, guys, Cliff is talking about going into deep detail about how you can do a a renovation project for cheap, but it still looks like it's retail. I've seen so many properties done that way by realtor. I mean, by investors. I can walk in and say, "Oh yeah, he knew what he was doing. This is good. This is good. This is good." He could have did something a little bit there, but I would have did the same thing though. That makes some sense. No problem with it at all. Go ahead, Cliff.
Oh no, man. I'm just man. You got me thinking about all the little, um, just the small things that you could do. For example,
Yeah.
we'll do wood all on the flooring throughout the whole house, but in the kitchen we'll separate it off and do like a herringbone look. Same
Woo!
product. It's the same product. We didn't spend any
Dang.
more money on flooring, but we did a different design that makes it look unique. And maybe we paid $400 more just to have him do that little extra piece, but it looks nice in the kitchen. All kind of stuff
Yes.
like that.
And that 10% type of arbitrage there, delta there, that's actually in your budget for those miscellaneous or what I call those surprise, that easily pays for the $400 extra work.
Right. Yep.
It easily pays for it because you plan for that. And the herringbone, guys, is just a design. That's
Yep.
all it is. It's just a design. Same product, same hardwood flooring, same stuff. All you do is pay for $4 extra labor. That's all you did.
Mm-hmm.
But it could generate thousands of dollars in a return just on paying $400 in labor. That's it.
Oh,
Again, details.
right. Nope. Spot on, man. Spot on.
That's it, man. So that's why, guys, we do the Cash Flow Club, guys. $99, guys. That's it. You get access to all the training we actually have, guys. All of it. $99. It's on-demand training. Anytime you want to do it, it is right there. That they'll get Cliff going into detail about this specific topic. This specific topic, because of the fact that we're doing a lot of single family resident renovations in Mississippi. And Cliff has been he's been an expert at saying, "Hold on, Dale, I think we can get this done for a little bit cheaper." I said, "Wow." We can sit down and reason together. So we talked to our partner James on that and say, "Hey, James, man, go ahead and talk to our GC right there in Mississippi and let them know we're going to do X, Y, Z." We come back and say, "I get that done for $300." What? Matter of fact, I actually have a HVACs that I actually have in a storage. I'll give you a couple of those. No problem. Just pay me $3,000. I'm good. And I'm like, what? Yeah, and I even warranty for you. And I'm like, look again, details.
Oh yeah. And I'll let you know one day I've been looking at us being able to buy our own direct from the manufacturer. So
Yes,
whenever we do a house, we could literally buy it from and ship it to the house.
correct,
So we
correct,
can that way we don't have we say, don't even worry about it. We'll buy it
yep,
directly.
correct, correct. So it's just guys, just kind of give you guys some nuggets on what we kind of do, guys. That's it, man. But man, that's all I have, Cliff. Man, you want to say anything, man, before we get off in a second?
No, man, just man, same thing every week. One deal can change everything. So man, just keep going. I even got the hustle shirt on, man. Keep hustling. Keep doing what you
Yeah.
do.
And also, guys, our sponsor, let me get the way. Our sponsor, American Rounds, guys. We're here, man. Again, let's go ahead and shout them out real fast. Grant and the team over there, man, they're over there killing it, man. Here's the commercial for them. Here we go.
The CEO of American Rounds. We are in Pell City, Alabama at Fresh Value grocery store installing the first ever automated retail machine for ammunition. The stores were really the inspiration for it. I mean, they knew their customer base and they came to us and thought this would be a really good opportunity for their customer base. There's a lot of hunting community here in Pell City and thought that their customers would love an opportunity to be able to buy ammunition here at the store.
We're super excited to offer, what we think is the first ammo kiosk. We're always looking for ways to give our customer another reason to come visit our stores. Anything that we can do to help them make their shopping trips easier based on the feedback that we've gotten just from customers today. They are so excited about us having the ammo kiosk.
We're getting ammo!
One of the ways we're changing the landscape of ammunition sales is to make it more available. Being able to move into a place like a grocery store, supermarket makes it a lot more available to the public. But we're taking a different approach to it. Traditionally, ammunition is sold at outdoor type stores, your sporting goods stores, and it just sits on a shelf. It's very accessible. Because of that, there's a high rate of theft. But with our machines, as you can see here, we have a very secure automated retail machine. We're able to age verify. We scan a driver's license. It then takes 360 facial recognition for the purchase and matches it to the ID. So the machines really provide an opportunity for safe, affordable, and available ammunition sales.
There is no doubt that foot traffic will increase based on the feedback that we've gotten. And again, we're super excited not only to have it here, but in other locations in Fresh Value as well.
We're really excited about where we're going. We are going to continue to expand here in Alabama. We have a machine slated to go into Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas. So over the next year, we're looking forward to, seeing these roll out all throughout the South and the Southeast.
Guys, that is our sponsor, American Rounds. Guys, the first AI-powered ammo vending machine that's actually at a grocery store near you right now. They're in Alabama, Oklahoma. They're getting ready to go into Texas as well as Louisiana, guys. And they're killing the game right now, man. Check them out. It's at American Rounds on all platforms, guys. At American Rounds at all platforms, guys, man. So we're actually going to be, they're actually going to be having a giveaway here shortly also. I think everybody's going to like. And so, but yet that's them. Follow them, guys, on all social media platforms. They're there. American Rounds, man. Thank you so much for the sponsorship, guys. But man, that's all I have for today, man, guys. I would agree with Cliff. You are one deal or decision away from changing your life, right? All you are needing is wise counsel to help you walk you through that process, guys. Guys, stay blessed, man. Have a good day. And I'll be in it every time before you leave. And while you can, you see that thing, baby. Take that damn picture and give it to your mom and them. Now say it with your chest and holler at your partner. See you guys next week. Peace.
Thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God, big grace.